Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that feels like a total revolution in how we create software. Seriously, picture this. You describe an app idea, and minutes later, a real working version is right there in your hands. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, it's happening, and it's happening now.
And this quote, man, it just nails the feeling in the air. We're talking about a whole new wave of AI tools that are promising to basically smash the barrier to entry. All that complex development work, it's turning into a simple conversation. The big claim here is that if you've got an idea, you can now be a builder, period.
And listen, we're not just talking about some basic websites here. Get this, there's a tool called Rocket, and a developer gave it one single prompt. They asked for a fitness tracker app. And what did the AI do? It built the whole thing. I mean, user login, workout and nutrition tracking, a progress dashboard. It even threw in an AI-powered fitness chatbot for advice. And to top it all off, it integrated the Stripe payment system. Just wow.
Okay, but here's the part that's really going to blow your mind. The speed and the quality. This isn't some rough draft or a pretty picture of an app. No, the claim is this is a full-on production-ready application. We're talking clean, high-quality code that you can download and work with, a product you can actually ship. And it did all of that in a single shot, in less time than it takes to brew a pot of coffee. It's just wild.
All right, so let's get into it. Here's our game plan. We'll start with that one-shot promise. Then we'll get into this new term, vibe coding. After that, we'll look at what the actual back and forth with AI looks like, cover the 5 key skills you're going to need for this, and wrap up by asking, what's our job now as the human creator?
So, first step, the dream. The big shiny promise of AI-powered development. You know, that almost magical idea where you just speak your vision into the air and poof, a fully functional product appears? It's the ultimate fantasy for any creator.
And when you see tools like Rocket in action, it looks so easy. You literally just describe your app in plain English. The AI then becomes this super efficient project manager, sending out little AI agents to handle the backend, the user experience, all the different parts. And in minutes, you've got a whole app, database and all. You can grab the code if you want to mess with it, or just click a button and bam, it's live on the web. The whole journey from an idea in your head to a real product collapsed into just a few minutes.
So this whole new way of working, it's actually got a name. Vibe coding. And this is where we need to switch gears a little bit. Let's move away from that magical one-shot idea and look at what it's really like to build with AI on a practical, day-to-day basis.
And what we're looking at here, it's a whole new way of thinking about building things. Vibe coding is exactly what it sounds like. You let the AI handle the nitty-gritty of writing the code. That frees you, the creator, up to focus on the big stuff, the idea, the feeling, the vibe of the whole project. It basically turns you into the director of this incredibly smart, incredibly fast digital partner.
And this is where we hit that classic promise versus reality. The promise is so seductive, right? One sentence in, perfect product out. But the process, well, that's more of a dance. It's a loop. You have to break your big idea into smaller pieces. You've got to test everything the AI builds. You're definitely going to have to debug some errors. And yeah, sometimes you got to hit the undo button and roll back to a version that actually worked. Okay, so what does that loop, that dance, actually look like in the real world? Let's really dig into the workflow. Think of it less like a vending machine where you put a prompt in and get a perfect app out, and more like a back-and-forth conversation with a coworker.
Because even with an AI that can code like a wizard, it all still starts with a human plan. This here is a super simple plan, a product requirements document for an SEO analyzer app. Before a single prompt was typed, the creator sat down and thought, okay, I need a place to put a URL, I need it to analyze SEO tags, and I want to see previews. That initial human thought is the roadmap that guides the AI.
And this is so key. The workflow is not a straight line. It's a circle. You prompt the AI, you test what it made, you fix the bugs, but maybe the most important part of that cycle is this, creating a checkpoint. Basically, saving a version that you know works. That way you can build new features without being terrified of breaking the whole thing.
And if we go back to that SEO app for a second, the first version the AI spit out worked. Like, it did the mean job of scraping websites just fine. But the user interface was a mess. Spacing was all over the place, things weren't lined up, and on a phone, forget about it. It took more prompts, more of that human feedback to turn it from something that was just functional into something that was actually polished and nice to use.
Which brings us to probably the most important question in all of this. If the AI is writing the code, what do we need to be good at? What are the new skills for this world of vibe coding?
Well, it seems to boil down to 5 core skills. And what's really interesting is that none of them are about how fast you can type or if you know the difference between Python and JavaScript. It's a totally fundamental shift. It's all about how you think and how you partner up with an AI.
Okay, skill number 1, thinking. And I mean really thinking. You have to be able to take that big, messy idea in your head and break it down into logical, step-by-step instructions that an AI can actually follow. It's all about being the translator between your vision and your digital partner's ability to execute.
Skill number 2 is about frameworks. And don't worry, you don't need to become an expert overnight. It's more about knowing enough to ask smart questions. You know, like asking the AI, hey, what are some good ways to build a drag-and-drop feature? The AI will give you the options, and then you, as the director, can choose the best path forward.
Third skill, checkpoints. This one is absolutely critical. Let's be real, building with AI is going to be experimental. Stuff is going to break, but using checkpoints, which is basically version control, is like having a safety net. You can try new things, work in little bursts, and if a new feature completely wrecks your app, no problem. You just roll back to the last version that worked. It's freedom to experiment without fear.
Number 4 is a whole new kind of debugging. It's not about staring at lines of code looking for a missing semicolon anymore. It's more like being a detective. Your job is to figure out what's going wrong and where it's going wrong. Then you have to clearly explain that problem to the AI so it can be the one to actually fix the code. You're the one diagnosing the problem.
And the 5th and final skill is all about context. You have to remember, these AIs have a pretty limited memory. It's called a context window. So you can't just dump your entire project on them and expect good results. Your job is to be a great manager. You feed the AI just the right piece of information for the current task, maybe an error log or a snippet of documentation to keep it focused and effective.
So, when you put it all together, if the AI is the coder and we're the ones planning, testing, and directing, what does that make us? What is this new role of app creator all about?
It means your role is undergoing a massive shift. You're not just a coder hunched over a keyboard anymore. You're the visionary. You're the lead tester. You're the head debugger. And maybe most importantly, you're the director, guiding this insanely powerful AI to bring your vision to life.
And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. As these tools get even better, the very definition of a creator is changing right before our eyes. It's becoming less about the technical skill of how to build and so much more about the vision of what to build and why. So the real question is, what are you going to build?